What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2 and another Hero Spotlight. We are back on the Monk, as I've gotten lots and lots of questions since my Nuke Monk Spotlight on exactly what I was talking about as far as the other Nuke Monk. And there is two Nuke Monks. There's the Nuke Monk that I normally play that is pet-based. You pop your boost, you hit your pet, you do lots of damage, and it's good game. I love that playstyle. It requires zero skill, zero talent, and you don't even have to be looking at the screen to make it work right. However, there is an absolutely insane Nuke Monk build that is very, very similar to the original, and this is the last hit Nuke Monk. Now, what I mean by last hit is each of your weapons. This build will only work with a medium or a heavy weapon. A heavy weapon is ideal, however, you can use a medium. If you look at the regular swing cycle of a heavy weapon, there is 4 swings. There's the first 3 swings and then a big 4th overhead swing. The 4th overhead swing does the majority of the damage of that entire cycle. Now, if you're using a medium weapon, it's the same thing, except it's only 3 swings. So in this situation, the big overhead swing is the 3rd swing, and it doesn't hit quite as hard as if you would be using a heavy weapon. However, it is a suitable replacement. It still hits like an absolute truck, and depending on your playstyle and just what you like to see, works out just fantastic. Now, before I get into any of the damage numbers, because they are really, really absurd, this is the exact same setup as the pet Nuke Monk. So if you want to switch back and forth and try them out differently, all you have to do is swap your pet and swap your weapon. With the pet Nuke setup, I like to roll around with this light weapon. However, that does not work for the last hit Nuke Monk, and it's all about the heavy weapon. So I did replace the heavy weapon, and I replaced out my lovely Betsy with Dragolich. As we all know, Dragolich is awesome. Dragolich works with every DPS hero, and the Nuke Monk is no different. Now, doing a quick run through the shards and the mods. In the head, there's only one required shard, and it's not even required, and that is Heroic Boost. Heroic Boost is going to increase healing waves healing done by 52%. You're going to be using boost, you might as well get healed, so get yourself a Heroic Boost, drops in Chaos 7. In the gloves, only one required shard, and that is Critical Strike. Critical Strike is a Chaos 1 shard, it's very easy to come by, and with 10% increased chance to crit, it's kind of like free money, so definitely go with Critical Strike. In the chest piece, you are going to want to use Power Gambit, drops in Chaos 7, and Heroic Power drops in Chaos 5. Heroic Power is going to increase Heroic Waves hero damage boost by 39%. Power Gambit, of course, increases our hero damage by 58% since this one's gilded. However, I do take increased damage out of the deal. In the boots, only required shard is Crane Stance. Crane Stance is Chaos 1, another one, it's easy money, everybody should have one. Throw a Crane Stance in your boots and call it good. And then there is no required shard in the weapon. I personally like to roll with Thunderstruck, Life Leech, and Drenching Strikes. If you don't have Thunderstruck yet, then throw anything in there, whatever you want. Burning Strikes is a very good alternative, which is also a hero-based shard. Now let's take a look at the mods. Now the mods are going to be the exact same as the pet Nuke Monk, and it's going to be Damage Buff Chip, Healthy Power Chip, and Power Chip on every single piece. Now ideally you would have hero damage on every piece. As you see, I do not have a complete set. I've still got hero health on my head, and my hero health is a little bit higher than I really need it to be, so I'll be on the lookout for a nice helmet with hero damage on it instead. However, you do want hero damage on every piece, Power Chip, Damage Buff Chip, and Healthy Power Chip. Now taking a look at the playstyle itself. Now we all know Crane Stance is triggered from our right click. Although Crane Stance currently is bugged as far as the icon goes, it is still working. So by all means, use crane stance as you're running up to enemies. Always be right-clicking them and getting those crane stance charges jacked up. Now, crane stance, once again, looking at it, each secondary attack increases the damage of the next primary attack by 106%, stacks up to 6 times. Now, this is the next primary attack. Now, if our big hit is that overhead swing, we do not want to waste our primary attack on those first 3 hits. We want crane stance to go off when the big hammer gets dropped. Now, when you look at it that way, if you go ahead and charge up, and then you head on over to your target, you boost up, you pop your Drago, and you see 677 million damage on that 4th swing. Now, that's obviously with everything, that's with Drago in the mix, and I mean, what can you say? 677 million is going to be one shot in like floor 700, floor 750 bosses, and it leads to just nothing but absolute absurdity. Now, that was a crit course. Let's say we don't have Dragolich up, and we're still going to go hit the boss. Then, once again, boost, 3 swings in the air, 4th swing on the target. That one was a non-crit, and it was only, I say, 225 million. So, nothing but beast mode going on with the last hit monk. Taking a look at the medium weapon. Now, obviously the mods in this medium weapon are not as good as the mod I have in that heavy weapon, so there's going to be a damage reflection recourse from that. However, let's take a look at it with the 3rd swing. So we're going to go ahead and boost, we're going to Drago, and we're going to miss. Let's try that again. Now I have Drago gone. Let's go ahead and boost, and 1, 2, and 3 is the 3rd hit. 162 million damage, not too shabby at all. Now, the heavy weapon is going to give you the larger, just like getting hit by a train, no doubt about it. Even without Drago, it just packs a really, really, really mean punch, and it's super fun to play once you get the timing down. There was a nice 225 mil non-crit right there. So hopefully this helps answer some of the questions that arrived from the last video of the Nuke Monk itself, and that is the last hit monk. Now, before we move any further, let's take a quick look at the Ascension. That way you don't have to go over and watch the Nuke Monk video as well. Basically, it's standard hero Ascension. So you follow the basic rules. Very first thing, hero crit chance, then go into your hero crit damage. This particular build does not care about ability mana at all, so you can completely ignore that if you want to and go right into movement speed after you get your hero crit chance and hero crit damage maxed. Defense, of course, doesn't matter, as this is an offense build, so go into whatever you want to there. And in the offense category, got to get those 20 points into hero boost damage. First thing, it's only 2%, and you might think, oh my gosh, it's only 2%. That 2% makes a difference, so make sure you get your hero boost damage in. And then I always go over to Heroic Presence Heal. A little extra healing goes a long, long way, because we all know that dead heroes do no damage at all. After that, just move right on into the hero damage slot. So get your hero damage completely jacked up and get out there and get some of those big numbers. Let's one more for the road here. Let's load up that crane stance. Pop our boost, pop our Drago. And there we go. That one was 451 million non-crit. I currently, on floor 243 or whatever, I have yet to see a boss with half of that amount of health. 242 or 241 I've gone up to. So I've yet to see a boss with even half of that much health, making it just super, super easy mode to smash all the bosses, and you've got a nice bit of health and an overall good DPS hero to play around with if you like the melee playstyles. So if you like the monk and if you like melee, there really is no better melee hero than the monk, and with the last hit Nuke Monk setup. So thank you once again. Click that like button, please subscribe to the channel. If you have any more monk questions, let me know in the comments below. I did get quite a few of them. in the Nuke pet build, basing it off of this build itself. So get out there, play with your heavy weapons, get that 4th hit down, and go melt some faces. Thanks again. I'll see you next time around. Take it easy.